Now, the first thing I tell clients when doing a short sale is this: it will cause damage to your credit. There is no way around it. But it's important to understand when it's completed that it will be reported on your credit as an account settled for less than the amount owed. This is something that can't be negotiated. This is regulated by the Fair Credit Act and the FTC. So for further information, I would recommend going to ftc.gov. So from there, most people ask me, how does it affect my credit? What credit score drop am I going to have? And the answer to that is there is no way to predict this. I've talked to numerous different credit specialists, and it basically comes down to three factors. The first, whether or not you have one or two loans. If you have two loans, that's going to be in essence two short sales reported on your credit, and a little bit more damaging than just having one. The second thing is whether you make payments through the process or not. Because if you're not making payments, what will happen is you will start suffering 30, 60, 90 days late reported on your credit, and that's going to be a separate instance than the short sale in and of itself. And lastly, and most important, is what you have going on in your credit history. I have clients, for example, who have multiple mortgages, credit cards, car loans, student loans, etc. And those people, when they have more things going on, typically don't experience as great of a point hit as somebody who has nothing going on their credit history, and with the exception of this one loan, and they're now defaulting on it, and it's going to be a little bit more severe for them. I always follow up and talk to my past clients and talk to them about their credit after the fact and see how it affected them. And there's been numerous instances where I've had married couples or partners on the same property, but when it was all said and done, it affected their credit scores totally different. So much so that one person had a 50-point hit and the other had a 200-point hit. But in the end, it's totally unpredictable. From there, the next question people typically ask me is, how long does it take to rebuild my credit score? Well, the answer to that is, it depends again on what you have going on. I've had clients who have been able to rebuild their credit score in 10 to 12 months' time. Others who have nothing going on in their credit history and they don't utilize it, it could take longer. The good thing about doing a short sale and your credit is this. One, if you were to decide to let your property go to foreclosure, you would have to wait a period of 7 years to be able to obtain any other type of financing on a property that's ultimately going to be backed by Fannie Mae. Next, I do have a lot of clients who are in the military, and it can affect their security clearance if they allow it to go to foreclosure, whereas with a short sale, it typically doesn't. I have clients who work in the financing sector. These might be mortgage brokers or people who work with personal finance, and many times a foreclosure is absolutely going to affect their ability to even obtain their job, but typically a short sale doesn't. And lastly, I do deal with a lot of clients in civil service. These are people such as firemen, policemen, people who work at the district attorney's office, and many times they state to me that if they have a foreclosure, it's going to impede their job or ability to have one, whereas a short sale, it does not. With a short sale, you can also buy again much more quickly. As opposed to a foreclosure of a 7-year waiting period, with a short sale, you only have to wait a period of 2 years. Doesn't mean you couldn't go out and buy a property all cash. It just means that, or that you couldn't go out and find some type of unconventional financing, but if you did, you just have to understand you might be paying a higher interest rate or paying a few points up front. There are other lenders such as FHA or VA where the waiting period might only be a 1-year circumstance with a short sale. But in the end, in order to get a market rate or a conforming loan, you're going to have to wait a period of 2 years. Lastly, I do also let all of my clients know that I have resources to be able to get their credit repaired or restored. One resource I have educates clients on how to rebuild their credit score back up to what it was or as high as it can possibly be so that they can move on. The other resource I have is to actually delete the short sale from their credit report. Now, I don't go into this too much at this point, and I don't like it to be the sole reason a client decides to do a short sale, but this is a concierge service that I offer to my clients only. If you choose to utilize this resource, you can completely delete the short sale from your credit, including all of the late or missed payments, and thus you would not have to wait any period of time to buy another property. You can do so right away. If you're interested in this, you can give me a call and we can talk a little bit about it further. So this has been my presentation on short sales and your credit. Give me a call to set up your free, no obligation consultation over the phone, and we can go over any specific question you have. Thank you very much, and I look forward to hearing from you.